All right, here we are. My name's Ginger,
And I'm Brooke.
and we're still here. This week felt full. I don't know why, but this feels like a good day to start this. There's been a couple things that I've been thinking about, but also neither one of us has seen either one of these prompts. I feel like we're flying by the seat of our pants.
I was about to say, we're going in blind.
Yeah, so like, who knows what's going to happen? This is like, I feel like we've stopped prepping for these, and we've just kind of like lived our life and now,
let it happen.
Yeah, and let's see like how that works out for us. All right, so small wins. What felt like a small win this week?
A small win. You know what? I think I actually have a pretty good answer for this one, and I'm a little bit surprised that this came to my mind so quickly. So had a rough week, parenting wise. And I think it was kind of like my first throw in to like really dealing with a teenager, right? And all the teenage attitude and stuff like that kind of came with it. And learning how to navigate that was really rough. And especially within like, that hurt my feelings. And I want to cry. But I'm not going to, because I have to be the parent and I'm going to lay down the law. But I think after kind of a few days of back and forth with a 14-year-old boy, it felt like such a huge win when after a couple of nights, he came down to my room and he wanted to like cuddle.
Aww.
And he was laying in the bed, and Ruby was there too. And she kept telling Jones to move because she wanted to snuggle next to me, and he wouldn't. And so Jones and I got to kind of like cuddle in the bed, and we're watching TV, but he wouldn't switch spots with her. And I feel like that was a pretty small win to kind of know that after a couple of days of battle between, kind of felt like a battle of the wills of like who was going to win that one. I did because I'm the parent, but it felt like a pretty small win in the sense of like, okay, we can do this, and then we can get to the other side where we still like cuddle and he still loves me and I still love him. It felt like a pretty good win after a couple days of I want to cry.
Yeah, no, that feels like, I don't know, that feels like a pretty big win, right? But no,
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, that's awesome. For me, a small win this week. I've had some like pretty big things happen in the last week, but I don't really have, it's weird that I haven't seen these questions before. So now I feel like I'm on the spot. My mom came home from vacation. Yes. So that was good. I feel like that's a win because,
yes.
Then she's there. She's not in the middle of
who knows where.
Right. Like, so I feel like that was a good win. Something that went better than expected this week.
I mean, I feel inclined to kind of say the same thing, but I don't know. I'm going to take a minute. What do you have? Do you have anything?
I guess for me, it was a pretty big win. Henry started lacrosse last year. None of us had any idea.
Now I know where you're going, and I like it.
Yeah. None of us knew the game or the rules, or I still don't know all the rules. I fake it very well. Like, I feel like I can hold my own at the game because as long as nobody asks me any questions, I can I know something went wrong and I pretty much know which team did the wrong thing, but I don't know exactly what they did, but I can cheer at the right time now. Well, also like Henry's the goalie. So I know when to cheer and when to go, oh, dang, on his part. So that works out really well for me. But, yeah, we got his roster for this season and he made the A team and I'm so proud of him. He has all the confidence in the world now. He didn't before. And it was, okay. So I have another like small win for myself personally when it comes to Henry and lacrosse. So I was at lacrosse practice and I told him that I had work that I had to do. So I was going to work on my laptop in the car. And so I got him all suited up, sent him off to practice. I'm sitting in my car on my laptop trying to work, but my laptop wouldn't connect to my phone. hotspot. So I went out on the field to get like better service. And so I'm sitting on one of the just like the side benches. And there's 2 kids on his team that have the number 3. And so that's the goalie number actually doesn't really matter. So it's okay that he has the same number. Anyway, whatever. But so I'm like sitting on the bench and Henry is talking shit to another kid who the other number 3. I mean, his name's Ian. We know who he is. It's not like just random kid number 3. But so he's talking to him and Henry's like, I'm the real number 3. Like, no, I'm the real number 3. And so I was like, Henry. And he turned around and looked at me. He had his helmet on, so he couldn't see that I was standing there or sitting there. And he turned around and I was like, don't be a dick. And he turned around and he goes, I thought you were going to be in the car. And I was like, well, I'm not. So don't be a dick to this other kid. And he walks over to me and he goes, no, Mom, I'm not being a jerk. That's just how we talk in lacrosse. And I was like, I'm sorry. We don't talk like that to anybody. And he goes, whatever, and turns around. And my eyes he didn't even hear me react. And he turned back around. And he goes, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say. Okay, I'll be nice.
It's that immediate regret.
Yeah. And so I feel like that was a pretty win for me that like, you know, not cool that my kid's being a jerk to somebody else. But when I call him out, he's still got that attitude. And then he immediately is like, oh, wait, I don't talk like that. And so,
yes,
I mean, that was a cool parenting win for me. I also like that I can have those kind of conversations with my kids where I'm like, whoa. Yeah. We don't talk like that.
Not a thing.
Yeah, we're not jerks. Like, I don't care if you've been on the team longer or if you're on the A team and they're on the C team. I don't care. We don't talk like that. That's not a thing. So, and him kind of, you know, like I'm around my friends. And I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not pulling you out to humiliate you in front of your friends, but I will if you don't get it together, like in this moment.
Yes.
And he did. And I thought it was great. Like, I thought it was cool.
That is always a nice feeling. I feel like we had a little bit, I was going to tell a different story for the small win, but with that, I mean, like I said, a couple of rough days with Jones.
Right.
And there was one night, kind of the final straw. We were at lacrosse practice also with Virginia, and Jones wanted to go out in the neighborhood with his friends. And at some point, he just stops responding completely. I've tried texting him. I've called him. I don't even know how many times. And I got to a point where I was like, if you don't respond in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to come find you. It had been like over an hour. Like I've been trying to get in touch with him and he's not responding. And so, you know, follow through with a threat. So he didn't respond. And sure enough, I mean, you know, I've got him on my Find My Friend. And so I track his location. I know exactly where he is. And I show up and I can hear like one of the friends in the background being like, Jones, your mom. Jones, your mom. And Jones is like, what? And I walk around the corner and I just shout out, I'm like, your mom is here. He comes over immediately. You know, and it's hard because we've already had a rough couple of days and we're trying to like kind of navigate it. And I had told him, I was like, I don't appreciate the fact that I've been trying to get in touch with you for over an hour. And, you know, I love it because he was like, you know what? I have my phone on silent. I'm used to having that. It was set off to the side. I'm really sorry. And I was like, that's fine. I said, I'm just trying to let you know what the plan is, you know, and I'm not telling you that you have to come home right this minute, but I need to know what time you plan on being home. I'm like, I'm going to give you the freedom to decide. And he just was like, you know what? I think I'm actually ready now. And I was like, you don't have to. I'm not telling you that you have to. And he was like, you know what? No, I'm really good with going home now. He's like, this is okay. And I'm like, did I upset you? Are you embarrassed in front of your friends? And he was like, I'm not at all. And he's like, no, but I am ready to go home. You're right. And I loved it. It was a really sweet kind of like small win moment of like, I thought I embarrassed him by like coming around the corner and yelling, your mom is here. But it was over an hour. That's a long time to like be trying to get in touch with your kid when you're not in the neighborhood.
Right.
And you're trying to reach out and you're just like, I don't know if something's happened to him or if he's causing problems somewhere. Like it could have gone either way.
Well, and panic sets in right about at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, it does.
Right? And so 45 minutes of panic is a long time.
And when you're on like the other side of town,
Right. 100%.
like I'm 20 minutes away without traffic, like best case scenario, 20 minutes. And so to be on the other side of town, not hear from him, not
Right.
get in touch with him. And then it was just like, and I've reached that maximum, but he
Right.
was so good and he was so sweet and so gracious about it that I thought, okay, it was a nice little win with that one too.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think with my kids, I very much try my best not to embarrass them, but also there's a line, right?
There is.
There's a line where I don't care anymore.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to disrespect me. They've done that in the past. Like, they're at the house, they have a bunch of friends over, and the friends are running around being crazy. And I'll say something like, hey, you guys need to calm down, or, you know, like, we're not getting this crazy. And Henry will do a little like mouthing off to where I take him and I'm like, I'm not trying to embarrass you in front of your friends, but you will not speak like that to me.
But I will if I need to.
Or everyone is going to get embarrassed.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I give you the option to like correct your attitude, because I mean, like, you know how it is, right? You're around people, you're
Yeah.
like in it. It's this mob mentality, and so I understand that, but like, okay, you also need to understand, like, we don't do that. And
Yes.
so fix it, or everyone's going to be humiliated. And
Yes.
so, yeah. I think, I don't know, giving them that option it's how it works in my house. I mean, it 100% works. All right. So this is just into, you could use the same story. What's something your kids did recently that was ridiculous or sweet, or a text that you got that made you laugh?
Something that was ridiculous or sweet.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so I'm going to use the story that I wanted to talk about. And I
Okay.
think mostly because it's Ruby, right? And we've talked about Ruby plenty, and that she's so kind of touch and go. Don't ever
Scary.
totally know what to expect with her. And so the weekend before, we had the plans and we went to the Dallas Symphony thing where we got to watch How to Train Your Dragon, which was so cool.
Yeah.
And Ruby had told me before, like, I really don't want to go. That doesn't sound like a fun time. I don't want to go. And I got really upset and I was like, Ruby, I just want my family together. And so she ended up, you know, obviously I didn't really give her an option on that one, but I was like, we're all going. I want to go do something with all three of my kids. And so she went. She ended up really liking it. But then this past weekend that we just had, then I told her, I was like, well, we've got, her dad had texted and last minute, his parents were coming into town. Not a planned thing by any means. And so that kind of threw off what she was planning for her weekend. And so whenever I told her, she was like, I don't really want to go. And then I told her, I was like, well, that's fine, because we're going to the Wombles. We're going to y'all's house. And so I told her we're going over there Saturday. And she just goes, I don't really want to go. And fair enough, right? We've talked about this plenty, where Jones has Harrison, Virginia has Henry.
Right.
Ruby's kind of in the middle with nobody to hang out with. And so I've always kind of understood. But I had told her, I was like, I'm just getting really tired of trying to make plans. I want to do something with my children, with my family. And every time I do something, she's always like, I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to. So whenever I kind of expressed that to her, she was like, no, I'm going to go. I think it'll be tons of fun. And you know what? She had the best time. She had so much fun. And I thought it was really sweet. I mean, I don't know that it's ridiculous, but it just felt sweet that like the next day I was asking her about it. And she went on and on about how much fun she had. And I know she totally did it for me, which was really sweet. I love that she like pulled it together and she went because I wanted her to. But then had the best time. So it was really sweet, like listening to her like recount the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that felt like a really kind of sweet moment.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that everybody, all the kids like had such a good time. Like, I don't know, it felt kind of like the old times when the kids were just
kids.
Yeah.
They played hide and seek like
I know.
a long time.
Yeah, I know. It was really cool. And it felt very much like the old times when the kids were just like wild and crazy all the time. But no, that was cool. Let's see. For me, I mean, I have to talk about Harrison State, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So, he went on his very first date.
Aw.
It was the day before Valentine's.
With his Valentine.
With his Valentine. They went on their very first date. It's 2026. If I'm recording this, this is the moment. The day before Valentine's Day, 2026. They went to the movies. It was so sweet. We, John and I and the boys, went to lunch on Friday. We all went to lunch together. And then he met her down at the harbor and they went to the movies. So we all went to lunch together. He met her and then we went home. And so then they were at the movies by themselves. And then he called me and he was like, or he texted me and said, we're done. Or the movie just ended. And I was like, okay, well, of course I'm there in 3 minutes. Right. So I pull up and they're there and she like walks over and waves at me. Like it was so sweet. And then he gets in the car and I was like, well, her parents aren't here yet. Right. Because nobody
lives that close.
I live across the street. So like nobody gets there. So of course they're going to take longer. I mean, that just makes sense. So he gets in the car and I was like, well, you need to go wait with her. And he was like, she doesn't want me to. And I was like, yes, she does.
Yes.
She doesn't want to tell you.
She told you it's okay, but she 100%
She
does.
probably said it's fine and it's not. So yeah.
I know, I've never used that line in my life.
I know. So I made him
Is that
like,
what women say?
I don't know. It's what girls say. But so I made him get out of the car and go back. And so he went back and like stayed with her. But it's so funny. They both like stood there and didn't say a word to each other. Like
they had already said their goodbyes.
Yeah.
So now they have
he
to
gave
like
her a
awkwardly
hug.
do it again.
Yeah. And so then they all just stood there. And so then I didn't watch them. I like got on my phone and just doom scrolled. So I wasn't like creeping on them. I did take a picture when they weren't looking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I
know because I got the picture.
I know, I sent it to you right away. But, oh my gosh. And so her parents came and then he came and got in the car and we left. And I asked him, I was like, like, how was it? And he was like, we held hands. And then I was like, did you kiss her? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, did you want to?
Too much pressure.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, dude, like, so here's the thing. Like, so it's not so awkward. So it's not so scary. Just ask her. Like, hey, can I kiss you? And then like put your hands on her face and just kiss her. Like just a like kiss, not a like, wow, like you're not ready for that. Like you've got to
work your way up.
Let's not. But
my mom always
like,
called it sucking face.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Never a term you want to hear your mom say, but you could try it.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. But anyway, so he like, yeah, I mean, it was really sweet. And I told him, I said, you guys need to hang out. Oh my gosh, wait. So she gave him like a bag and it had like a Lego in it and then a card that she made.
Oh.
And it was like old school. You remember when we like folded paper into like, and then it made an envelope? Mm-hmm. It was that. And he was like, I don't know what this is. And I was like, yeah, you got to open it. And then he opened it because he didn't open it in front of her. So I didn't read it while she was there. He opened it in the car and read it to me. Like
the whole thing?
The first time he read it out loud to me. I mean, I can't call that a small win. That's like, the win of my life.
I want to know what it says, but you can tell me later. So we're not doing all that.
Well, it was so sweet that, it was, like literally what I write to my husband. It's like so grown up what they say, not dirty and not gross, like so sweet.
So not what your husband says to you.
Not what he writes down, he says out loud. But no, like he, and she said like, I like you so much. You make me nervous.
That's so cute.
And I was like, that's so sweet, so cute. But they're like really good friends.
Yeah.
And so I told Harrison, I was like, look, you guys need to hang out more outside of school.
Yes.
And it won't be so scary. Like, because y'all are like really good friends. And so it's the best feeling to be with your friend who you're
Mm-hmm.
like in love with, who you're not scared of.
Right.
So I was like, you guys need to like hang out more. And he was like, okay. But this morning when I took him to school, I was like, hey, we don't have anything planned on Saturday. If like, you know, you guys want to do something, she can come over, or we can all go do something together. Like, and then we have this big, like a reservation for Henry's birthday, that La Petite Chef.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that. And so I was like, I can add somebody to the reservation if she wants to go. It's Henry's birthday. And he was like, well, is Henry bringing anybody? And I was like, no, I don't think so. But like, she could still come with us. Right. So anyway, I'm just like trying to encourage him to hang out with her more, but they have their concert tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping I can like meet her parents. So
quick. Meet the family.
I know, that's the whole thing, is like, I was thinking about that. Like, is that a lot where like you come and hang out with your boyfriend's parents, but it's also like not like in college when you meet your.
I think it's perfectly reasonable in middle school. Yeah, 100% it's reasonable. I mean, they can't go anywhere on their own anyway, so they'd have to be with the family.
But so then it's like, if I meet her parents, then her parents know that we're like normal. Regular people. And I told Harrison, I was like, yeah, y'all could like watch a movie in the theater or something at our house, but somebody has to be in there with you. And so I was like, it's either Henry or me, because you can't watch it with the door open. Mm-hmm. So the door has to be closed. And so someone else has to be in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, so your choice, like Henry or me, like who would you rather have? But it's funny. And I had the conversation. I was like, I totally trust you. Like I 100% trust you. But like when you're 16 and I don't trust you, the rules have always been the same.
Yes.
So there's not like a moment in time where I stop trusting you, where I'm like, okay, we're changing the rules. It's like, no, these are always the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my ridiculous or sweet thing. Like this whole Valentine's experience with, oh gosh. And then I was laying on the couch on Saturday before we had dinner, like, and I wanted my like weighted blanket, but it was like on the other side of the room. And so John texted Harrison and was like, hey, come in here. And so Harrison come in and John was like, hey, would you give mom her blanket? And he was like, seriously? And I was like, I didn't mean for him to text, like whatever. But he gave me the blanket and he like tucked me in and like did the sweetest thing. And I was like, why are you being so nice to me? And he goes, because this is the first Valentine's Day that you're not my Valentine. Like, pull the knife out of my back, please.
Sweet. So sweet. But also like, oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, I was like, oh my God, that is the meanest thing anyone. And people have said really mean things to me. And that was the meanest thing. He goes, well, I mean, it's true.
Like, that's what we're facing.
Oh my God. Like, I know. It was like, but like, oh, I'm getting like hot and sweaty. Like, it was so awful. I was like, I can't believe you said that. And then later Henry comes in and I like get him on the couch and snuggle him. I'm like, I'm still your Valentine, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Yeah, it was terrible. I totally forgot about that. Now I'm like rehashing. I'm going to cry the rest of the time. Let's move on. Something we're enjoying more than we thought we would. Is there anything about this season we're unexpectedly liking? I have one for you.
You have one for me?
Yeah.
That I'm unexpectedly liking?
Yeah.
What is it?
One of the three things that describe you as not true anymore.
Oh. Do we give context to that?
I don't know. That makes me sound really mean.
It does make you sound mean.
We can tell a story,
but it's
though.
Funny.
Yeah. Let's tell the whole story, though.
So the whole context of
really
the story is we were out of town. We went to a Katy Perry concert in Oklahoma City. We were having the best time. It's just the two of us. We were watching TV. And I don't know if it was a TV show, if it was a commercial. I don't know what it was that we were watching. But on the screen, there was a girl, and she was like, she goes, well, you can't say anything because I'm poor. and my mom died. And I was like, I looked at Ginger you were sitting on the bed next to me, and I was like, you can't say anything because I'm poor. And my dad died. And I was like, and you can't say anything. This isn't a joke for you. And you just looked me straight in the eye and you said, well, you're alone too. And so it's been the joke this whole time that, that was Mother's Day weekend. So that was in May last year.
Almost a year ago.
So that turned into the joke that I was poor and alone and my dad died.
It's not funny.
And to be fair, I am very particular about who gets to make the jokes, especially about my dad, right? I have reached a point where I can laugh about it. But it's very particular who jokes about that. Other people have tried, does not work out as well. So just for anybody that by chance is listening to this,
and actually,
there's only one other person that I know of that has joined in on this joke, and Aaron, you're the only other one, and only because you've had 2 die. So
yeah, it's not funny.
It's not funny, but that is our joke, and we laughed about that. We had a lot of fun with our joke. But yeah, it did switch that I'm not alone anymore.
I know.
And I am enjoying this season of having a person, which I know you've struggled with a little bit. I think there was one day that I had like a really rough day and I didn't tell you anything until Justin came to like pick me up, and he was going to go help me with something else, and then we were going to have lunch, and I told you that I was having a rough day, so I was going to go have lunch with Justin. And you were like, I'm a little bit upset, but it's good. Like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Right.
So it's fun, like it's different. It's different having like a person to talk to about your things.
Yeah. No, I've always said that I want you to have a person. Like, I want you to have your person that you go to. And I've always been that person for you. But I mean, always. I mean, it takes you a long time to
share,
let someone in. And so it hasn't always been me, but it's been me since it's been anybody. Right. So I want you to have that. I'm not threatened by that in any way, but also like, I don't trust Justin to be the quality that he needs to be. Like I feel like he still needs a little coaching. And so I just want to like make sure that he's doing the right things and saying the right things.
He's doing a pretty good job. There was, so we just had the Super Bowl, and you were the one that caught me. I had Virginia brought me, she usually carries around my old phone. And so she brought it over, and I was looking, I don't know what I was specifically looking for, but I was looking through the photos.
I think you were randomly looking at all the photos.
Maybe. I feel like I was looking for something, and I just got completely stuck on this photo of my dad, and one I hadn't seen in a long, like, I don't even know how long, and I kind of forgot about it. And I liked the picture, and it was a good memory. And I think because he was in the hospital, it was a picture of him in the hospital with his 3rd brain surgery. It was the only surgery we were allowed to be present because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so we were allowed to be there. And he just was in such good spirits. I mean, like, this is a man fighting a brain tumor, about to go in for his 3rd brain surgery, knowing that the doctors gave him 4 to 6 months to live, and he's in year 3. So he knows that, like, all of these things. And so he's so smiley and so happy in the picture and such a good sport. And so I love the photo, and I hadn't seen it. And I just kind of went into that mode of like, don't let the picture fade away. And I kept pulling it up. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job because I wasn't getting emotional. And I was like, this is totally fine. I'm totally fine. But like, I need it to stay where I can see it. Like, I need it. And I had it down in my lap. So like, it wasn't bothering it. Nobody could see.
It wasn't bothering anybody.
You looked at me. I don't know what time I had opened it back up. And you just looked at me and you're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Well, for context, we're like sitting at the table. We're all participating in all these different games. We're doing Super Bowl. And I look down and you have a picture of your dad in a hospital gown on your lap. And so I just like go and flick the picture up to like get it off the screen. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing to yourself in this moment right now?
Well, and that's what you said. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Right.
And I immediately was like emotional, right?
Yeah.
And I turned towards you and I could hear Justin, somebody saying something, and he was like, she's looking at a picture of her dad and it's just bringing up feelings. But I mean, I'm bringing all this up to say, like, even with regard to Justin. So like later that night, I mean, I got out to the car and I feel like I kind of like held it together, but sometimes it's really hard to push through those emotions of grief where you're just like, I can't come out of this. Like, I have to have my feelings. I need to cry. Like, I need to get all of it out. And so I had kind of waited the most of the evening, and I got in the car, and I have sweet little Virginia's in the front seat with me, and I start crying really hard. And what I didn't know was that Justin was still waiting in the parking lot to make sure that I was going to be able to drive off and that I was okay. And he had texted, you know, if I needed a hug, just come by his house because his house is on the way home. And so I did, because I was like, okay, I think I do. I need a little bit of extra help to get out of this. But I think what I loved is that even in the sense of I'm used to being able to cry, to get it out and to kind of hug or whatever it may be. But in that night, like trying to, and I kept saying like, I'm sorry, like I'm trying to stop. But I loved it because he stopped for a minute and he let me kind of get my feelings out. And he was like, I want you to tell me one thing right now that your dad would be proud of you for. And I loved it because I'm so used to tell me one thing about your dad. Tell me a story about your dad. But I loved it because it was such like a different point of view. And my dad and I were very close. And I loved it because it was a completely different thought process. And it was really good. I just thought it was a really sweet way to kind of help me talk about specifically my relationship with my dad as opposed to just talking about my dad, which I thought was good. So I think he is doing a pretty good job of
he's like more qualified than me now.
Becoming that person.
No, that's really good. I mean, yeah, he is rapidly becoming your person, which I love. I mean, I'm not jealous of that in any way because I want you to have that. I mean, I have that and I want you to experience that. No one's going to replace me. I'm not worried about being replaced in any way, shape, or form. I just like want to make sure that he's like saying the right things. So I guess he is. I mean, I think like, yeah, no, that's cool. Like, good for Justin. Yay, Justin, gold star. All right, so let's stop talking about Justin. God. Oh. Something we used to dread that feels easier now. Do you have one of those?
Dating. Life.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we have a friend. I'm not going to mention names, but we have a friend who like just started dating, right? And I think it's like smacking them in the face. Yes. Like, I think they were really excited about getting out there. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people do that, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, my relationship is so awful. I can't wait to get out there. And then they do. And then they go terrible.
Oh, this is why I was fine. This is why I was happy to find a person to get out of it. And then when you're back in it, you're just like, oh, this is
why I put up with so much shit because I didn't want to do this. Yeah. No,
I mean, rough.
No, thank you. I have no desire to ever get back in. Like, I would like to get a bunch of cats if I was ever by myself. And I don't really like cats. I just like, no, thank you.
I mean, my thought process is like, if I don't find a person, if it doesn't work out, whatever it may be, like 100%, we're just going to Golden Girls.
For sure.
And you know, they were in their, they were in like their 50s.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
done. I've got a few years to figure this out. And if it doesn't, then like, done.
And John's family, like, they don't live very long. And my family lives like forever. I'm like almost to midlife right now. Like, not yet. I still have got 4 or 5 years until I'm midlife. And then I started all over again. John's like, I don't know. Day by day. We'll see. And then I like have my encore life. Where
John, that's not what we want, though.
No,
I don't think you're
want
going to
that.
watch this, and I don't think you're going to listen. But if you do,
He's never going to listen.
that's not what we're aiming for.
But no, but keep making that money. Oh, anyway.
I'd say something, but I think he already knows. I think we've already said all of those things to him.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
It's sad.
It's not sad.
It's fine.
It's just.
I mean, we
it's
like
fine.
you. We like you, John.
I like John. I think he's a pretty great guy. I will be sad when he's gone. I actually learned recently I would be really sad.
Yes.
And a little messed up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you would.
I know. That was terrible. I don't want to do that. And I'm not ready to talk about it yet.
No.
All right. Something we care less about now than we did before. I have a big one on this one.
Ooh, what do you have?
It's going to be today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so shocked that this is where this conversation is going right now.
You know what he taught me?
What did he teach you?
Nobody's going to listen to this.
That is true. He did say that.
Yeah. And so but I have zero worry. I have not a care in the world about this podcast and the production and does it sound okay?
Look at you.
And who's going to hear it? And do I worry about naming somebody or saying something or anything? Because let me know that not a single person, it definitely isn't going to get to episode 5, much less 45 minutes into episode 1. So I like a weight has been lifted off of me. I mean, like something I care.
That's good. You were
way
really
less.
concerned about that.
I was so stressed out. Complete spiral. I mean, complete like anxiety attack spiral on a Saturday. Can't function, breathe, like any of the things. Cause I was like, went down this rabbit hole.
I got so many stress texts that night out with a different, like I was at a friend's birthday party and my phone just kept going off and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
you were struggling
Yeah.
and it's totally understandable.
Well, and it's in that moment that like, I can't help it. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's exactly what I didn't want this to be. And now I appreciate the clarity that I don't have to worry about that. And I 100% agree. Like it makes so much sense. I could have, logic me could have said, you totally believe that, right? You totally believe that we're 5 hours in now, nobody's going to be listening. And it makes perfect sense. And so I'm like breathing easier. Yeah. Like the next question is something we're not trying to control as much or a standard we've relaxed. I feel like this all is encompassing in that. Our prompts today, I didn't read beforehand, flying by the seat of my pants, which is exactly how I wanted this to be.
Right.
Like I wanted this to be real. I didn't want it to be prepared. I wanted it to all be like what it is.
In the moment.
Yeah. And then we get to tell these like crazy stories about what's happening in this moment and how we feel. And then we have that. And
then we get to go tell David whenever he says nobody's going to listen to it, that this is how women's brains work.
Yeah. So here's another thing that I would like to say about David Hoy. I don't know why he likes you so much and hates me so much.
He doesn't hate you at all.
It's so funny that he like, when I say things that contradict what he says, we are loudly debating each other. But when you say it, he goes, good point. I see. Yep. Nope. You know what? You got me, is what he says. And I just, I don't know where that
He said I'm smiling all the time. So I just look very friendly, apparently. I've never been told that in my whole life.
Right.
Usually I'm told that I look very unapproachable, kind of mean.
Well, and he's one of those like, why don't you smile more?
Yeah. Oh,
kind of people.
well, maybe that's why. Because I
why he
always look
likes you.
smiley.
Yeah, man, that's my rant for the day.
Okay, hold on. What was the prompt again?
Something we're not trying to control as much, or a standard we've relaxed.
Okay. So what's today? Today's Tuesday. There was no school yesterday. So yesterday, Sunday, Ruby, she's 12. She wanted to go walking around the neighborhood, go down to like the beachy area in the neighborhood. And it's really hard to kind of go to reach that stage of parenting,
Right.
where you're like, I have to start loosening the reins. And I mean, like, Virginia always tells everybody that, like, I won't let them out of the house. That's how she words it.
Right.
But, like, I don't even usually let them go out and, like, ride their bikes. And the girls, specifically at this point in time, just because, you know, I mean, I'm concerned. They're girls, and it is different. I hate to say that, but it is different. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous all the time. And so Ruby, on Sunday, she was like, I'm going to go over to Honey's house. I'm going to be with Evie, her cousin. And so she was like, we want to walk down to the beach. And I was like, there's going to be an adult, right? And she said no. And so I think loosening that control of like, okay, I'm going to have to start letting her at some point navigate
Right.
this freedom. And so I did tell her, I was like, okay, you can go down to the beachy area. I was like, you have to text me when you leave Honey's. You have to text me when you get there. Then you have to, like, if you're going to go somewhere else, you have to text me about or call me, whatever it may be. I'm like, you have to let me know where you're going to be going. So I was like, every point in time. And I was like, but if you don't, Ruby, I was like, then this is it. Like, you're not going to be able to do this again. And so, like, that was really hard to kind of go, okay, I have to change that, kind of give up that control and like loosen that a little bit for her, which she did really good. She did. She absolutely texted me every single time, which, I mean, obviously she's going to, it's Ruby, but I mean, that was hard. And I felt really good about kind of tiptoeing into that next stage of life for her.
Right.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
She's just a little baby,
I
little
know.
baby girl.
Yeah, those are hard. And I mean, we were talking about that. Like, it's hard to, at some point you have to let them go, do the thing, right? But I mean, even it's at practice, like their practice is an hour and a half. And I still have a hard time like dropping them off and leaving. And because I mean, like, practice is rough too. Like, what if they break something? Like, I don't want to, everybody's like, oh, where's his mom? You know, like, I don't know. But I mean, at some point, you got to let them go.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to start giving them the freedom to like make their own choices, right or wrong. They have to learn
mistakes.
all of that,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just like, it's so hard to, because I'm concerned about her making good choices, but I'm also concerned about her safety. But she also has to learn how to make good choices concerning her behavior and her safety. And it's like,
sure.
I know that I have to. It's just, I don't know. The world is bad and it's mean. She's just a baby.
Yeah. I mean, she's mean too.
I know. She's not mean. She's just scary.
Yeah. Well, all right.
But she's just a baby.
I know.
I know.
They're all
Okay.
just little babies.
All right.
All right. Let's see. Parenting realization. What's something we've realized about raising older kids?
They're mean. They're mean. Jones was like, it was really hard this week. Like whenever he went into like his teenager mode that, you know, that you always hear about, like, this is what, and I've not had any of that with him.
Yeah.
And like the place that he went to, like it genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
Like it felt, and I did have to tell him, because I was like, I'm trying not to cry. Whenever I was telling him, I was like, I'm trying not to cry. I'm like, and I'm going to have to change the subject in a minute. I'm like, because it really hurts my feelings. And he's good. And I knew that he already felt bad about what had happened. And I don't want to rub it in anymore, but I did want to like get the point across, because he got mad at me and he changed my name in his phone. And like, it seems like such a small thing, right? But he went into his phone and changed it from Mom to Brooke.
Yeah.
And it just cut so deep. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, it feels like you're trying to erase me as Mom.
Right.
And I'm like, and I get it. I get that you're mad at me. I was like, but here's the thing. And I had to explain it to him. I was like, I do 100% of the parenting 100% of the time.
Right.
I don't have backup. I don't get to tag team. I have the kids full time. Right. And so, for me, I'm like, there's no chance that he's going to like me all of the time. And I have to be mom, and his safety, turning him into a good person, all of that is my responsibility. And so I had to tell him, I'm like, I get it. And you're not going to like me as mom all the time. I'm like, but I'm still mom.
Right.
But like, oh my gosh, like it was so hard. And I hope that he doesn't ever see this one, because I don't want him to ever have to like go back and feel these feelings. But it hurt so bad. Like, I mean, it really took everything in me in that moment to not cry in front of him.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
No, for sure. Yeah. That sucks too, because when they hurt your feelings, you're so hurt, but you also don't want to hurt their feelings by telling them that they hurt your feelings. Yeah. I mean, that's like,
well, and he knew it was going to hurt my feelings. And he even said, he's like, I knew the second that I took his phone, he's like, I knew that you were going to see it. And he's like, and I immediately felt bad. Yeah. And I know that he did, because I know how close Jones and I are, and I know how much he loves me.
Yeah.
And so it's so hard, because I'm like, I don't want him to feel bad, but also like it's taking everything in me not to cry in front of him. So that was rough. Yeah. That's a hard one.
I think I'm spawn point in both of my kids' phones.
Spawn point?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So loving.
We're a loving family. We love each other very much.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't go down. You can't be demoted anymore.
I know. What else could they call that bitch? Yeah. No. Who knows? I don't know where my label will go from here. So something we've realized about raising older kids, I think I realized Harrison is much more mature and articulate than I thought. Like, he doesn't say much, right? So it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot going on. I know he's like extremely smart. Like, I know he's like very smart.
Right.
But usually that means like there's not a whole lot of like touchy-feely stuff going on in there, right? And there is. Like, I didn't realize how well spoken he was.
So we're learning he's not a robot.
I know.
Like his dad.
I know. He's got like...
Congratulations, Harrison.
Both of us in there somewhere. I did tell him, I was telling Henry that Henry got I think I've already said this, that he's got my mental stability and John's creativity. And he goes, so I got the best of both of y'all. And I was like, I don't think
absolutely
mental health on my side is the best quality. But yeah. But anyway, so that's something I'm realizing about Harrison, is that he's much more in tune with his feelings than his dad is, or at least talking about them. And then something they've taught us lately, or a moment where we saw ourselves in them.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind most recently is last night we were at Justin's for a game night, and his daughter made fun of Ruby for her OCD need to like perfectly stack the cards.
Oh, that's you.
And she spent a while, and I was like, and she like totally called Ruby out on it. And I was like, yeah, I don't have any clue where she got that from.
You who couldn't leave lunch today because the napkin wasn't folded right.
It was really bothering me.
Yeah.
It was not perfectly
It's a problem.
up.
Yeah.
I was trying so hard before we left to get it.
I know. I sat and I was like turned around and waited at the door. We were leaving, by the way. It could have like been any.
It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
And I still was in that moment. I needed to leave the napkin perfectly even,
folded.
all the things. And I didn't. And I still left. So like win.
How much have you stressed out about it since then?
Not at all.
Till just now.
Clearly I'm fine.
I'm fine.
But Ruby has my OCD tendencies on things need to look neat.
It's nice to have you as a friend though, because then I know like everything gets like completely organized.
Well, it was really funny because I'm trying to help Justin like decorate in his living room, and we were trying to look at something, and he was like, I don't know, that doesn't look lined up. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's centered. And like he had to go get the measuring tape, and he measured both sides, and he was like, oh yeah, no, it's about the same. I'm like, I told you. I'm a bit ridiculous when it comes to this. So like
Right.
I'm aware.
I'm well versed in saying that
I'm
looks
like,
wrong.
when it's off,
you will know.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What was your answer?
Oh, I forgot the question. Oh,
You have them.
I know. I changed the paper though.
Oh.
What, or when I've seen myself and my kids.
Yeah.
So I haven't recently seen myself so much in the boys, but I have like noticed John in them more and more. And I know that like we make fun of John for being a robot and that he doesn't talk about his feelings, but he does like write them down, right? Like my Valentine's card, I get cards for like no reason, and there's a whole page written about the nice things, right? Mm-hmm. He writes things, or he texts really nice things. He won't say them to your face, or he won't talk about his feelings, but we text really nice things. And so seeing Harrison do that, I think is a big testament to John's influence on him.
That's sweet. That's a good answer.
Yeah. All right. So we're circling back to friendship.
Okay.
What does it feel like to be in this stage of friendship?
What does it feel like?
Yeah. In this stage.
I mean, it just feels nice, right? Like I feel like it's nice where you can go and you can sit down and I can say whatever I want. I feel like it's best like summed up. Have you seen like those memes where it's like when somebody's unhinged and they go to their best friend and they can say the craziest things to their best friend and they're going to totally agree because they're probably also like unhinged and crazy.
Right.
That's what I feel like. I feel like I could come to you and say the most insane, ridiculous things and you're like, absolutely. If that's how you feel, I completely support you.
Right.
And then you're just going to be like, but also that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's so great.
I feel really comfortable in this stage, even more so than I have even recently. I feel like, I mean, there's a couple like minor things that have happened recently where like there's a little bit of like pulling back or being like introspective. And then I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're going and like on these like great little adventurous things with Justin. I mean, like every day, right? And then I have like a moment of shittiness and I'm still so like wildly excited for you to be going like to do these like things, right? I've caught myself where I'm like, wow, in the past in other friendships, I would be like pissed off or disappointed in that like I'm in this like really sad space and you're like off being happy. And I've noticed the difference that I didn't feel that. Like still happy for you in this like really cool space that you are. Mm-hmm. Right. And it was like an aha moment to me almost where I was like, man, I really like this friendship. I also really like that this is like one of the hardest moments I've had in like, cause I haven't had any hard moments in relationships with like John or anybody in a very, very, very long time. And this was like a really shitty one. And like yesterday you made a joke about it. And I was like, oh, I was like, that's who we are. Like, you know what I mean? Like it really was funny and it really like made me feel really good in our
I was worried that it was
in
too
our
soon,
space.
but I was
No,
like,
it was
whatever,
good.
like we're doing it.
It was so good. And it just, that's like this stage in our friendship that like, I really like the comfortableness. And I like that, like, it's not so much codependency, right? Like, I think codependency is unhealthy. And we don't like, we're not codependent on each other, but we are each other's like everything.
Well, we also, I think what's nice is we don't, I don't think we coddle each other, right? Like there's
Right.
no, it's not like a surface level, and it's not, I'm going to agree with everything
Right.
for the sake of it. I mean, you even sent a text over the weekend and you were like, I think this is what it is. And I just was like, no,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's it at all. And I like that I can say that to you. I know you've said it to me 1,000 times in the past, probably
Yeah.
recently. But I like that. I like that it's, I'm going to tell you that I think that that's a leap. That's a little bit of a jump. But also like it sucks.
Yeah.
Right. And like we can share in all of the feelings and stuff that go along with it. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to coddle. We're not coddling. And I like that. I like that there's honesty, that there's accountability, but then
Right.
there's 100% support. And like, I'm here for you, whatever it is. And I think that just kind of shows up in every situation, the small things all the way to the big giant things that we've gone through.
Yeah. No, same. Like that's what I think. I think that's so special is that like I'm not trying to find somebody to agree with me. I mean, I'm like, and even in those moments I was asking for advice and I was like, is this too big of a leap? And you're like, yes, that is not what that meant. That's too big of a leap. But then it's like, well, I still feel that way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to, but it also helps me that I'm like, okay, I'm being a little ridiculous. I'm going to continue to be ridiculous for a minute, but I'm still like, this is how I feel. And, but no, it was really nice. It was like a big realization for me that I'm not so, dependent on, the everyday because I have the grand scheme. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And so like, I don't have this, there's no threat there. I'm not threatened by anything. And I think that's different. I think that's different for me than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I really appreciate. The next thing is like, what's something that we appreciate about each other? And then the next one is what's something we don't say enough. And I mean, like, I do think I say it all the time, but like, I appreciate you.
Yeah. I was about to say, I mean, I think we already kind of do that all the time.
Yeah. I mean, like, but I do, like, I very much appreciate you. Like, it feels weird to say that to the camera and not to you.
Well, it feels, I mean, I'm used to like texting.
Yeah.
I don't like to address my deep feelings in person because I feel like my feelings are usually like a burden. So I'll usually sit on mine for a couple days and then I'll text you.
Right. You and John are great though. I get like good texts.
I was about to say,
I don't ever have to do anything
Yeah.
face to face because y'all are very like, oh my God, I love you. And
John and I
you're the most amazing
John
thing.
and I understand each other.
Yeah.
We have you like to say that we gang up on you.
Well, you did. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to saying to you all the time, like how much I do appreciate it. You know, I mean, and there's like a great level of love, right? Like I love you and I appreciate you and all of the things. And I like it when I am completely ridiculous and have made up some of the most insane scenarios in my head. And you read every text message, the same one worded 30 different ways.
Yeah.
And then you take the time to respond to each one in a way that's like validating the feelings and then affirming me and saying, I don't think that's true. I mean, like it's always, you can always tell like it's a thought out response. It's not just like oh my gosh, like, please, I need this to end. It's always genuinely like a really thought out response. And then, Like, I love you and I'm here for you. And I always love that. Like, it is the best feeling in a friendship to just kind of go, I know that I can be ridiculous and I know that I can be hard and all of those things, but I appreciate that I get to be all of that.
Right.
That's a nice feeling to have.
Yeah. And I wish you didn't feel so much as a burden. That's like next level is when you're like, nope, I'm her problem. But yeah, no, I mean, there's always room for improvement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of room.
But yeah, so that's it. Let's say a small detail from this week we'd want to remember in 5 years.
You'll survive the teenager years.
Yeah.
It sucks already. Like, that was rough, but it's not that bad. And I hope that I like take a deep breath and remember that like my kids love me and I love them more than anything.
Right. Yeah. No, it's going to be hard, right? And it's just starting.
Yes.
It's going to get harder, but then it's going to get better.
God, they're so cute.
Yeah.
They're so cute. All Jones has to do is like look at me and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me hug you. Let me scratch your back for a minute. Yeah. I just want to hug them all the time.
Yeah. All right. That feels like enough.
Yeah. We're still here.
That's it. Bye.